Hey everyone, welcome to this video that I feel like I have been wanting to film for so long now, and I've just had a note on my phone thinking of all the things that I don't buy or own at all anymore. And I just think in today's world with so many expensive shiny things and kind of like materialism being so prevalent or consumerism, however you want to call it, and just like social media making you feel like you need all these things or you're missing out, it's like I think there's something to be said for being a little less wasteful, a little more minimalistic, even though I wouldn't call myself a minimalist by any means. You guys know I love my things that I do have, and I would say I have a lot of things, but I just thought this would be fun to kind of think about things that I don't own or that I am realizing that I don't use and I don't need to buy anymore. And I just thought this would be fun to kind of point out all of these things to you guys, and you can see if there's certain things that you're like, oh, I really don't use that, I don't need to buy that anymore, or that kind of thing. We can all be doing our part for the environment, not to get too deep down the rabbit hole, but I just thought this would be fun. I literally thought of 50 things, you guys. It's crazy. And I have it in little sections. We have like tech, a home section, food, things you wear, personal, miscellaneous, stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I post videos literally all the time, especially now that we are in quarantine. I'm posting videos all the time, and you guys can subscribe down below. All my social media will be linked down below. It always is. You should follow me on Instagram, everything like that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, was that English? Let's get on into it. So, first thing that I don't own that I feel like all of you are gonna be like, oh, like I feel like everybody has one of these and I just never have. Maybe I'm just like really late to the game, behind. So this is in our tech section. I do not have an Apple Watch. I've never had one. I feel like I'm so behind. I just feel like the whole world has their Apple Watches and loves them. And this is actually a terrible example of something on this list because I sort of feel like I have been missing out, and I feel like it's something I would use a lot, but I'm happy that I resisted the urge. Just because everyone else has one doesn't mean that I need to have one. And so I've just been thinking about it for so long, being like, would I actually use it? Would I really enjoy it? For the longest time I thought that I wouldn't want one because I thought that I would be like in the shower scrolling through my text messages or something, and I'm like, whenever I don't have my phone, I don't want to be plugged in. So to have this when I'm already on my phone so often, it seems like a bad idea. But I was texting my friend Taylor today. You guys know my best friend Taylor, and she is a runner. You guys know she's like training for the Boston Marathon, and I was like, do you love your Apple Watch? Because I kind of feel like I might be missing out, like I kind of want one. And she was like, yeah, it's the best thing ever, like she uses it every day while she runs. So to be determined if I end up getting one, but I actually don't own one, and I have never had one. So comment down below, tell me if you have an Apple Watch and if you love it and if it's worth it. But I've never had one. That was a long example of an item on this list. Okay, the next thing I don't own in my tech section is an alarm clock. I realized I feel like so many people have alarm clocks, and especially because your phone, I don't know, can be maybe not like reliable in every situation, that you would want an alarm clock to make sure you like get up on time for work every day and stuff. But I don't own an alarm clock, so that's just something that I realized. But it made me realize too, I don't need one because I'm fine without it, and I always do just use the alarm on my phone. Probably slept through it like a couple times if my ringer's all the way down, but yeah, I don't have an alarm clock. Another thing I realized I don't have, some of these are dumb, but some I think are good, so sorry if this is like dumb, but another thing I realized I don't have is a laptop case, like the hard one that's on your laptop, or like the soft one that you put your laptop in when you travel. And honestly, this isn't that smart. I probably should, to protect my laptop, but it's just not something that I own. I have had like soft ones that you put your laptop in the past. I feel like in college I would use it like in my book bag and stuff, but I don't know what happened to it. I must have lost it, and I just don't have one of those. Another thing, I think this is a good thing to point out because maybe this will help you realize if you were not using this. Another thing that I don't buy is cable. And ever since, actually no, that's a lie, my first apartment off campus my senior year, I think with our internet we like had to get cable, or it was like cheaper that way. But then we just realized in the apartment I'm in now with my roommate Taylor, I feel like we're so busy on our own doing our own other things away from TV that we just realized we don't need to pay for cable, we wouldn't use it, and we aren't missing out at all because we just watch Netflix. And the only time it's an issue is when The Bachelor is on, because we like want to watch it real time. And so yeah, that's been like a hassle. We've tried to find like ways around that, but we don't pay for cable because we know that we wouldn't use it. Now going into my home section. So something that I pride myself in not buying anymore is excessive decor, I feel like, for your apartment, or specifically I think in my head like festive pillows. If you guys, I'm not bad mouthing them at all because they're like my favorite people ever. If you guys know Aspen and Parker, they're literally my favorite people on YouTube. I think they're like the cutest couple. They're baby Cove, like they're literally the only people I watch on YouTube, and I love them so much. But Aspen is like crazy pillow lady. Like she loves getting pillows, and if you guys watch their vlogs and their videos, you know what I mean. She, I feel like, is buying pillows at Target every day and is always getting pillows for every new holiday. And I will say I probably have some like Christmas decor, but other than that, I'm not like running to Target to get like heart themed Valentine's Day pillows and like pumpkin pillows for Halloween. I like don't do that stuff, and I'm happy I don't, because I don't have room for it in my apartment, in my little Boston apartment. Like there's not that room to store it when they're not out and about. And all that extra home decor, like I feel like I've just learned that I'm very affected by my environment, and extra things laying around and like clutter just taking up space clutters my mind and makes me feel overwhelmed. So I've just realized having things put away and kind of like tucked away in their place, not too much decor, is how I like it. So yeah, I'm happy that I'm not crazy with the decor like I know some people can be. Okay, the next three things I'm kind of like, not like sad about, but like I feel bad about, but I'm just being honest. So these things I just don't own, which are really, I might have like one book. I really don't own books. I don't own planners or notebooks. And those I kind of all think of together, because I feel like for the longest time I was fighting who I am deep down to my core, and I'm like, I really want to read all the time. I really want to be someone that like writes in their planner. I know it's so good for like staying organized, and it's better than your calendar in your iPhone or your computer, and like the pen to paper is so important, and notebooks, writing things down, like again the pen to paper. And I would get all of these things, but I don't use them. And it was like the biggest realization one day, and very freeing, and everything got a little bit easier when I just had a realization like, Gretchen, maybe you're not meant to write everything down in a planner. That's okay. And if you're not a big notebook gal, and I'm really trying to work on the reading, but that's just never been my thing. I actually think when I was a really little girl, like in first grade, like I loved reading, whatever. But things change, and those are just things I don't really own. And yeah, like I said, it just got a little bit easier when I realized that maybe I don't need to have those things like other people have, and that's okay. Don't hate me for this video. I'm serious, some of you are gonna hate me. Okay, the next thing, this is like loose home category. I feel like a lot of times when people travel, they will get souvenirs or knickknacks or whatever for gifts when they come home. And I mean, I'm guilty of it too, especially like growing up. I feel like whenever I would travel, I would get little knickknacks for people, or like shirts or sweatshirts or whatever. But then I've just realized over the past couple of years, maybe the amount I've traveled, I'm like, okay, I can't keep like getting stuff every time I travel. This is crazy. But I think I just realized like the memories with the people when you're traveling and the photos are enough, and you don't need a sweatshirt to remember your trip to Cancun. Like I promise you don't. And you're gonna be like, why did I spend $60 on that? And then you don't even wear it that much, and then it just takes up space, and then it just makes you overwhelmed, and it's like you don't need it. So yeah, I pride myself in not getting really souvenirs from places. I will probably still get gifts from people, and if they're like meaningful and it's like a gift for someone else, but souvenirs for myself, I'm like not into it anymore, because you just don't need it. Okay, the next couple things for home section, I just really was realizing paper towels, I feel like, are something that I have never really purchased. I know that sounds so weird, and like living with my roommate Taylor, who like always used paper towels, or being at Max's when they always use paper towels, like that's just so interesting to me. Am I like so weird, you guys? Growing up, my parents just, we never had paper towels, or you know how you have like little paper towel holder on your counter with paper towels? We just never had that. We just always had like a dish towel when you like dry the dishes, and then another towel to like dry your hands after you wash your hands, and maybe like rags if you spilled something to like clean it up, and then you would just put it in the washer. Like we just never really did the whole paper towel thing. I'm sure we had paper towels around sometimes, but like that's just like not something I really buy, and in my mind it's not really necessary. Maybe now with everyone being very hygienic and not wanting to like maybe reuse a towel, and you want like single-use things that you can throw away just because you don't want to spread the coronavirus, that would make sense, but that's just not something I really bought in the past. Another thing that I realized is paper plates. I've never really owned or purchased, because I just use the normal plates that you wash in the dishwasher and you can reuse them. And Oh, sorry if you can hear, like, I don't know if that's a motorcycle or cars outside, but I think some people and like their families just always use paper plates because it's like easier to clean up, but we just have never done that. I think the only time I've been around paper plates really is if I was at like a birthday party and they were like pink and sparkly and themed or something, but that's, yeah, I never really do like paper towels, paper plates. Tissues, I've never really bought. Is that like ratchet of me that I just use toilet paper if I need to blow my nose? I've just never really bought tissues. All these things seem like so glamorous in my head, like, oh my gosh, if I had paper towels and tissues and paper plates, like, but I've just never really seen the need for it, and now I'm like kind of happy that I've never really been in the habit of buying these things, because in my mind it's just wasteful and like I don't really have a use for it. Like I don't really need it. I don't have like allergies that I'd be like blowing my nose all the time. I don't know. But you know what, I will say I have had those, you know, this is really glamorous. I have had those tissues. Are they the Puffs ones? Like Puffs plus lotion. And if you're sick and like have a cold and blowing your nose all the time, I feel like those are just like so glamorous and very luxurious. But yeah, I don't really buy those. Another thing that I don't buy is plastic wrap. I don't think I've ever really bought plastic wrap. I just wouldn't really have a purpose for it. Like I'm sure there's been plastic wrap around like growing up. Like I know what it is for certain things that you want to leave in their casserole pan and cover. I don't know. But in my mind, in my cooking kitchen life, I just always use containers, like reusable Tupperware or glass containers with like a lid kind of thing. So I never really have a purpose for plastic wrap. Another thing I don't buy is dryer sheets. I've just never really used them. I don't know, my mom might have them. I've just never really used them. I just use my detergent and then I put my clothes in the washer, and I just don't use dryer sheets. See, these are just all these little things that I just don't really buy. I don't know. Another thing I don't buy is air freshener. I don't know if that's like gross, and I don't know. Do you guys have air freshener? I feel like everybody has air freshener and uses it, but I've just never really bought that. I have candles that I light a lot, so I think that's kind of what I use instead of that. But is that weird that I don't buy air? I don't know. Are you guys gonna think I'm weird after this video? Another thing that I don't own and don't think I'll ever really own, actually when I live with Max, maybe, does he have one? I don't even know. I don't have a Keurig or a coffee maker. Did I even say it right? Keurig? I really don't drink coffee that much. See, now I feel weird saying that because you guys, I never had a cup of coffee, like ever. And like I'd have a sip and I hated the way it tasted, and I knew that ever since my until my senior year of college. And then I started dating Max, who would drink like 10 ventis of Starbucks iced coffee every day if he could. So then I started drinking here and there, like once in a while with him. And then it was a couple months later, like maybe 2 months later, I'm like, why am I feeling anxious all the time? I've never felt anxiety my whole life. And everyone's like, duh, it's the coffee that you're like chugging in the morning. And I'm like, oh my god, they're so right. So then I was like off the coffee for a while, and then I would have it. So now I just have coffee here and there, and I really only have it when I'm with Max, and he usually will treat me for a coffee and I won't buy it. So anyway, I would probably never use a Keurig or a coffee maker. I would use a Keurig maybe for hot chocolate, but anyway, that's a long explanation. I just don't own one of those. Is that what we were on? Yeah. Another thing I don't own is an air fryer. I know these are newer. Probably a lot of you don't have air fryers. I know this isn't like crazy, but I'm sort of feeling like I need one. I think most of it is because if you guys know my friend Brooke Michio here on YouTube, she like loves her air fryer. So by her just saying how much she loves hers all the time, I'm like, do I need one? But I don't own one currently. So if you guys have an air fryer and you like it, comment down below. Tell me if I need it. Like what really is appealing to me is like throwing some sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts in there, and I think they cook way quicker than the oven. So that's just why I would do that, but I don't have one. Another thing I realized, you guys are probably gonna be shocked and be like, what? I don't have an umbrella. Like I literally don't own one. And I'm sure I've had umbrellas growing up like at my house, but I guess my mom, my dad, and Lucy and me would all just share them. And so when I went to college, I feel like my parents would be like, you need an umbrella, like it rains in Boston a lot. Or like now that I'm on my own in my apartment, but when it rains I just get wet. That's like terribly not practical and inconvenient. But I never really realized until it's too late and I'm outside and I'm getting wet. Do I have a raincoat? I don't even know if I have that, but I don't have an umbrella. Another thing I realized that I don't have is rain boots. I think I had Hunter rain boots for like a hot sec, and I wore them once and I just realized that I wasn't gonna wear them. Even when it rains out, I couldn't be bothered to wear my rain boots, so I just don't own rain boots. Okay, on to the food section. Postmates is something, obviously I've like ordered food here and there from Postmates or Uber Eats or whatever, but it's not something that I really buy that often at all. Maybe like once every couple months. I'm really not into that. I feel like now obviously things are different, and if you want to order in and like support local businesses and stuff, that's probably a very good thing to do right now. But before all of this situation and what's going on right now happened, I think I really just liked eating out to be like a special thing, to like leave your apartment and go have an experience eating somewhere. So I would just never really order in food and Postmates food. So yeah, that's just not something that I really buy. The next thing I realized I don't buy is frozen vegetables. I feel like they have their time and place. Where do I feel like I've heard this? I don't know if it was somewhere on YouTube, maybe it was like my parents, and they were like, the only time it's acceptable to have frozen vegetables is when you're like in college and really busy and maybe only have a microwave or something. But in my mind, I just always buy fresh vegetables, and I just have never really had frozen vegetables. I don't know. The next thing on my food section is food that I won't be able to eat. And what I mean by this is that I feel like I have gotten smarter about purchasing foods at grocery stores, because I feel like I used to just go ham. I literally wouldn't even have a plan. I would just write some things down on a grocery list, would probably end up buying like 2 times the amount of that food. Am I speaking English? 2 times the amount of food that was on the list at the grocery store, because I'd just be wandering around looking at all these like yummy snacks, and I would go hungry, which is obviously another issue in itself. Don't go to the grocery store hungry. You're just asking to get all those like Scandinavian swimmers from Trader Joe's and cookie butter and things like that, and then you come home and you're like, why did I get this? No, but yeah, what I mean by food I won't be able to eat is I feel like I would get so many fresh like produce, like fruits and vegetables and just everything like that, when it's like as like one girl, I'm not gonna be able to eat all of that before it even goes bad. So it's like better if you kind of have a plan, if you know like meals that you're going to be eating this week, or yeah, like certain meals that you like making, and just getting the stuff for that, instead of just like every single fruit under the sun and being like, I'll eat it, when like it'll go bad before you can eat those raspberries or blackberries. Those go bad so quick. It makes me sad. But I've gotten better at that. And then these are just like weirdly specific, but other foods that I realized I don't buy: steak, or I feel like just any really like complicated meats. It took me maybe 21 years of my life just to learn how to cook chicken, so I'll get chicken like occasionally, but cooking meat just scares me. It's overwhelming, and yeah, I would never buy steak on my own. Like Max will grill steak for me. But yeah, the other thing I realized is, if you guys don't know this about me, I don't really like cheese, and I also feel weird saying that. Like cheese and the coffee and everything, there's like little caveats, because I do have it just like here and there. I would never really buy cheese on my own because I don't really enjoy cheese. Like for example, I think we'll probably have pasta tonight. I will maybe put Parmesan on my pasta, but like I don't really have cheese in my apartment. Taylor's also vegan, so she doesn't have any cheese. I feel like we just don't have cheese in our fridge, and I would never really buy it because I just don't really eat it all that much. But if you give me like cheese pizza, like I'll eat it. Do you know what I mean? It's just not really something I buy. Coffee is the next thing on the food list that I don't buy, for everything I was saying before. I just really don't have it that often at all. I'm not like obsessed with the way it tastes. Obviously there's some tasty ones. I like that it can give me energy, but I usually will just have it as a treat with Max sometimes if he like goes to Starbucks. Another thing that I don't buy that I realize, I feel like I'm just not really like a drink type of person. I just drink water and that's pretty much it. But I don't ever buy soda. I don't own soda. We don't have it at our apartment. Me and Taylor are always like, oh, our apartment, like our kitchen sucks. Like we're like, we never have anything yummy in here. All we have is just really whole things. We have like rice and our sweet potatoes and our avocados and our like vegetables and fruits. We have a very healthy kitchen, so it's good. It keeps us on track. But we're like, oh, where are like the fruit roll-ups and the Pop-Tarts and like the soda when you need it, you know? But yeah, soda is just not something I buy. I don't really enjoy it. I'll have like a sip of Max's here and there when I'm with him. And then the last thing on my food little section that I realized I don't buy is plastic water bottles. And it's like, in this day and age, it's like, oh my god, why would you? Like, I feel like if you were drinking out of a plastic water bottle anywhere, people would like yell at you. Where is it? I think my friend Hannah went to UVM, you guys, and they don't sell plastic water bottles like on their campus. And obviously it's just bad and wasteful and you don't need it. And I just drink, I thought it was right there, out of my hydro flask like every day. So I don't buy plastic water bottles. I never really have. And yeah, I'm happy that's not a habit of mine because you don't need it. Then in my next section, in stuff you wear, something I don't buy is outfits for events. And I'm happy that I also haven't gotten into this habit, because I feel like just being in my sorority in college, whenever there was a new date party or formal or whatever, people would always go crazy and go shopping. And I get it, because like you need an outfit for the event, but I realized that I have so many clothes, like a closet full of clothes, and I would just always go shopping in my closet, look around in my closet, and 9 times out of 10 there's something in there that you can make work, even if you've worn it before. And that's why I really like to stick with like basics. Like if you have a little black dress, no one's gonna remember that you wore it before. Like it's freaking cute and you look good in it and it's flattering. So yeah, I'm happy that I never really buy outfits for events. Oh my gosh, that reminds me, we went to Max's cousin, sorry I'm like touching my hair so much. We went to Max's cousin's wedding in this past September, and I was freaking out trying to figure out what to wear, like tearing apart my closet for like an hour, but I finally found like the best jumpsuit. So it just took a little bit of effort on my part. Something else I realized I don't own, you guys, is flannel shirts. And I know that sounds so weird. Sorry if you can hear Max playing video games out there. I feel like it's getting noisy, but I feel like everyone has flannel shirts and makes them look so cute, and I have just never looked good in them. Whenever I would try and lose these, I'm like, I look like a farmer, and everyone else looks so cute in them, but I've just never owned them, and I would be sad for a while and like have FOMO that I couldn't wear a flannel shirt like everybody else. But I've just accepted it, that they don't look good on me, and I don't own one. The next thing that I don't own is fun, or like buy, is fun or costume type makeup. And I was just thinking about this because I remember when I first started YouTube, I was just so into makeup. Like, my name was Gretchen Loves Beauty, if you guys were around, and I was so into makeup, and I would just like learn all the new collections of MAC for fun and want to get all the crazy colors for fun. And then I just realized at one point, well, I stopped like loving makeup that much. I just wasn't that interested anymore. It is like hard enough for me to put on some blush and bronzer and mascara these days, and yeah, I'm just like not as interested in it. So like really fun costume or like event makeup that you would wear to Coachella or like a certain themed like party or whatever in college, I just stopped really purchasing because I'm like, I would use this once and never use this blue eyeshadow again, and it's just gonna take up space, and I'm just gonna go with my everyday look and it won't really matter that much. I'm sure for certain things, like Coachella, I've gotten like face gems and stuff, but like typically I don't really buy, yeah, like costumey makeup that I won't use all the time. Another thing that, so these kind of go together, all three of these, I realized, I just had all these realizations that I don't need to be buying these things anymore, is either like, it's all kind of one category in my head, either like cheap or low quality or just kind of trendy clothing, shoes, or jewelry. And it's because I feel like I've just learned through experience, things that are cheap, low quality, are just really trendy, and that's why you're getting it. So then it's cheap because you didn't want to pay that much for it because it's a trend and it will end up going out of style at some point. All of those things would make me happy in the moment, but then they would take up space and they would probably get a hole in it or fall apart because it was so cheap, and obviously it's not sustainable, and it's just, yeah, something that I realized is not worth my time. The shoes will break, the clothes will get holes in them or shrink or just like look really gross after you wash them a couple times. And then for jewelry, if you guys don't realize, I've worn this jewelry like every day for the past, I don't even know how long, and I feel like the jewelry was a good realization because I would always get all the jewelry, not to like badmouth Brandy Melville, but all the Brandy Melville jewelry, but my fingers would turn blue, and I'm like, oh, that's not like really a good sign, you know, when like really cheap jewelry does that, and like they bend and break, or like the silver turns black, and just like things don't go right. And so it's like I'd rather just invest in jewelry that I literally will be able to wear forever. And I know jewelry can be expensive, so that's like a tough one. But yeah, it's just something that I'm happy that I've stuck with because I literally don't have, oh, that's another thing, I don't have like a jewelry box or anything because I don't really have that much jewelry, just like the jewelry that I wear. And yeah, the next thing that I don't buy, yeah, I actually own two, but I don't buy them, is bras, like the traditional wire ones. I'm wearing one right now. And you know what? I almost got, I don't know how to describe it. I almost got influenced after, if you guys saw my video where I talked about what I wear under my clothes. I know that's so random, but if you're interested, it's on my channel. And I just talk about like boob stickers, like nipple stickers, and like strapless bras, nude bras, strap bras, whatever. But I literally have one bra with straps. It's nude and has like the underwire, like one of those. And then this is the nude strapless one with the underwire. And I really don't wear bras all that often. Yeah, maybe like a couple times a month. I'm wearing it in the shirt because I was like filming and I wanted to look presentable, and it's white and would be like see-through and you would see my nipples and like maybe be uncomfortable. I don't know. Like, who even cares about nipples? Everyone has them. But anyway, yeah, I just don't buy bras. Oh, and what I was gonna say is I was almost influenced because I got some comments on that video being like, oh my god, those bras are like 10 years old, Gretchen, they're so dingy. I would feel embarrassed wearing those around like a boy or whatever. And I'm like, oh my god, they're so right, like they're so gross and like falling apart. Maybe I should get some new ones. And then I was like, you know what? No, why would I go spend money on these new bras when I'm really not gonna wear them and they're gonna sit there and I just don't care that much. They're under my clothes, like I barely ever wear them. I'm wearing a sports bra, no bra, or like a bralette 99% of the time anyway. So yeah, I just don't buy bras anymore. I don't know, the next time I'll buy a bra, maybe when I'm like 40. All right. The next thing that I don't buy, yeah, or own really, is hats. And what I specifically mean with hats is the baseball caps. And this is purely just because for like a functional reason, practical reason. I have a massive head and I don't know if you guys can tell, like you probably can't tell, but I can't even describe to you how big my head is, like way bigger than Max's. And all of it's like, you know, cute little baseball caps that he wears every day, they do not fit my head. And when I make the back loose enough to like put it on my head, it ends like right here, like maybe an inch above my ear. Like it's just like the very top of my head because I just have such a large head, so they look so dumb on me, like they don't go down long enough like to your ear. Baseball caps just don't look right on me. The only type that kind of do are the ones that have the mesh in the back. If you guys know, this is getting very detailed right now. The ones that have the mesh in the back are usually a bit bigger and can kind of like fit my huge noggin, but I don't have them and I don't buy them and they don't look good on me, so I don't wear them. Yeah, that's just a functional thing. That's just because my head is huge. Anyway, next thing I realized is, this is like kind of random and like kind of dumb, but I just realized I don't have a ski jacket, and this I just thought would be funny to include because it's like you just have to be honest with yourself and know yourself sometimes, you guys, because you guys know last February I tore my ACL skiing. Like the one time I was gonna ski the whole winter. I like don't ski barely ever. Taylor, you know what, she was impressed with me though. She was like, wow, I'm so proud of you, like you're a way better skier than I thought. We were like going down the Black Diamonds because I skied like a little bit growing up and like had ski jackets then. But yeah, when I went with her last winter, I think I like borrowed one of hers, I don't even know, and then tore my ACL and had my whole rehab for the next year, the surgery, the whole thing. So I just know myself and know that I will probably never ski again. Don't get mad at me, all you skiers. Everyone's like, you gotta hop back on the horse and do it sometime. And I'm like, or I could just not, like I don't care that much and I don't ever want to risk tearing an ACL again because it was like the worst thing ever. No, it's okay. It's made me strong and like who I am today. But yeah, I just realized I don't need to have a ski jacket because I don't want to ski and I don't own one and I don't plan on buying one. Next thing I realized, I was really digging deep and thinking, I don't buy scarves. I'm sure I have some winter scarves laying around that are like old. If it's really cold, maybe I'd wear one, but I can't tell you one time in the last year that I've worn a scarf. I just don't wear scarves. I remember in high school, in the beginning of high school, they were like really trendy and you get the infinity scarves, remember those? And I would just wear them to like school with like a flowy skirt and like a long sleeve shirt and like riding boots or something. But no, like I don't wear scarves. I can't be bothered. Yeah, unless it's like, you know, freezing cold and I'm at my mom's house and she has a bunch of winter clothes and I'll like take a scarf. But I just don't really buy scarves, have all that many scarves. I might have like one or two. I can't even like picture one in my head because I just don't really wear them. I just zip up my coat and deal with it. I'm so rugged, you guys. Okay, the next thing I realized, this is, see, these next two things are kind of dumb for clothes, the last two things, but I just realized I realized so many things in this video. I really don't have orange clothing. Like I can't think of anything in my closet that's orange. I might have like a random orange shirt or tank top or sweatshirt, but I wouldn't like it because I don't like orange. You know what? I'm finally being honest. I'm being true with you guys. I'm being real. I've hated orange forever. Like it's been my least favorite color. I just don't like orange. I don't like orange flavored things. I just like hate orange. I don't know why. I like oranges a lot. You guys know my sumo oranges are like my thing, which is so random. But like the orange flavored chicken that everybody likes, like at Chinese food, I hate orange flavored chicken. I hate orange flavored literally anything. But anyway, the reason I'm saying that is I also hate the way orange looks on me, and I just don't like orange as a color. Like maybe in the sunset, but like orange is good for the sunset. I don't need it on me. And so I really don't have orange clothes, and the reason I thought this was meaningful to put this here is because I want you to deep down think about clothes that you have that you don't like and that you don't wear because they're colorful. And so now I'm smart and I get like black and white and gray, and it's because I know those are the colors I like wearing. And I feel like my closet is just a lot more neutral now, my wardrobe, because I would get all these colors of things and then I wouldn't wear them because I wouldn't like them as much as the neutral thing. So it's like, just be honest with yourself, you know? And yeah, I just can think of times where I would get like, you know, this shirt and I'd be like, wow, I love this shirt, like it's so great, and I can get it in every color, and I'm gonna get it in orange and blue and purple, and then I don't even wear the orange and blue and purple one. So anyway, I digress. Last thing for clothing is low-waisted clothing. I just had a realization, all my things, guys, you're gonna be so proud of me right now in quarantine that I'm wearing jeans, high-waisted jeans. Oh, hello, high-waisted. So happy that came back in. I don't even know how I was like functioning before high-waisted became a thing again, because think back when we were younger, like we all wore booty low-waisted like jean shorts from Abercrombie & Fitch and freaking low-waisted jeans, and I don't know how we did it. Like they are just not flattering on me and not cute, and just for me personally, I feel like the high-waisted is just where it's at, so I really don't have low-waisted clothing. Okay, sorry, didn't know how long this video was gonna be. It's getting long, but second to last section, personal. Okay, something that I don't buy is spray tans. I think I've had maybe 2 in my whole life, and I don't really like them. I like my self tanner so much better. You guys know I use Loving Tan. I love that. I like Tanceuticals. I just would so much rather do it myself, and I like the way it turns out. I feel like it fades off very naturally, and every time I get a spray tan, I feel like it comes off all chunky and blotchy, and you look like a cheetah, and they're expensive, and I just don't see the purpose. I know a lot of people get spray tans and love them. I'm not trying to like, oh my gosh, I don't want to offend anyone with this video if you like love orange clothing and low. Imagine you like love getting spray tans, your orange shirt, and you're like low-waisted jeans, so now you hate me. No, I don't want to offend you at all. Just for me personally, I just like the way self tanner works on me a lot better, and I just don't pay for spray tans. Saves me some money. Okay, next thing I realized, this is what I mean when I mean personal. We're getting real personal. Something I've never owned or bought is pads. I know that's weird, like, and if you're a boy listening, you're probably like, oh my god, like I know 95% of you are girls, but girls, who's with me? Actually, I know a lot of you wear pads. I know a lot of people wear pads. It's normal, like I have friends that wear pads. I'm sorry, this video is getting so long, but yeah, I think ever since the day I got my period, I was using a tampon. We're getting like really personal right now, TMI, and I've just always used tampons. They're just more convenient for me, and I just like the way they work for me personally better, so I just don't own pads, and I don't think I ever really will. Actually, maybe after you give a baby, after you give birth to your baby, I feel like you're supposed to. Wow, sorry, this is like TMI. But I know some people that just have like excess like feminine care products like pads and tampons and just everything, and if I had that just to like fill up my tampon drawer, it's like that would just be taking up space because I wouldn't use them. You know what I mean? Okay, next thing. See, some of these I think are good things to realize. Like maybe you're like, wow, like I don't need to buy shaving cream because I could just use my soap, or maybe you're like, I love my shaving cream, what is Gretchen talking about? But something that I don't own or don't think I'll buy or never really use is shaving cream. I know a lot of girls will use shaving cream on their legs. I'm sure it's very luxurious and nice, but I just can't be bothered, and I think even if I did have it, I would get lazy, and once I use my loofah and just put my body wash everywhere, my legs are all foamy and I can just shave them with my body soap. So that's just how I've always done it, and then I don't need to buy shaving cream. Just one less thing on my list. So I don't own shaving cream. Another 2 things that I don't really, well, I do own nail polish. I don't own nail polish remover, and I don't buy I haven't bought nail polish I think in like 10 years, and I don't buy nail polish remover either. Well, you know, joke's on me because now we can't get our nails done anymore, but I just really enjoy getting my nails done. I like them looking really nice, and I just remember before college, like in high school, when I would do my nails, getting so frustrated. I'm not kidding, I would cry because I was so bad at it, and I would get nail polish all over my fingers and it would just look so bad, and I was like, you know, we're just gonna take the L and just regularly go to the nail salon, and that's just a luxury that I'm okay with paying, a luxury that I'm okay with, do you know what I'm saying, that I feel good about paying for, because it makes me feel good. It's like a fun little self-care thing, and I'm so bad at doing my nails that like it's just worth it to me. And so I have nail polish. I think it's all like literally 10 years old, but I don't buy it because I don't use it, and I just always get my nails done. But you know, this is just ironic that I'm saying this now, because my nails were 5 weeks old. If you guys saw my Instagram story, and everyone was like, ew, that's so gross of you. So it literally took me like an hour to get them off at home, and I just soaked them in nail polish remover and everything. It was Max's mom's nail polish remover because I'm at his house. And yeah, So now they look kind of like scary because these are my actual nails. And then I just used some light pink nail polish of mine that was 10 years old. And this is what they look like. But right as the nail salon's open again, you won't catch me painting my own nails because they literally turn out terrible. And these I had to try so hard, and I know they probably look okay right now, but it's because I had to get so much nail polish remover and like clean up around the edges because I get it all over my fingers. All right, anyway, I digress. Oh yeah, and I don't have nail polish remover, and actually to the point, this is bad, I should own some of that because I feel like this is so gross, you guys. If you made it to the end, you're just getting really real with me. I remember having like a really old pedicure, and I was like, this needs to come off right now, but I didn't have nail polish remover. So I took a file and I just filed off my nail polish on my toenails, like my toenail polish, like my pedicure, and I filed it off, and that's probably like not the way you should be doing it. Like probably not good for your nails, your toenails, and like, probably kind of gross, but I didn't have nail polish remover, so I was just being a little bit resourceful. That's something I should own though. Okay, the last two things of my personal thing, well, first thing is I wrote this down as like traditional lipstick. I don't know how to say it because I love my Kylie lip kits, like matte lip creams, but I realized I don't have any lipsticks. I know a lot of people like just like the MAC lipsticks, just like traditional classic lipstick, but I've never liked it, and I don't own it, and I won't wear it because it just comes off in like 1 second. It gets on your hydro flask, it gets on like cups. Like I just don't. No, I'm just not about that. If you like lipstick, you do you, girl. And people like carried around with them and reapply it and stuff, but I'm just so about my Kylie matte lip creams or lip kits, or there's so many like matte lip sticks because then it like stays on. It's like cement and it doesn't come off, and so then you don't have to worry about it. So I just don't have lipstick. Last thing is I wrote this down as favorite items in bulk, and what I mean by this is I feel like I used to, for example, I love my Neutrogena makeup wipes, and I feel like I used to go and get them and I'd be like, oh, I can get like 5 of them, so I'm stocked up. And now I'm like, no, because you don't even have the room to store them. Once you run out, then go buy a new one. Don't just like have so many of your favorite things, then you're not gonna have a place for them. You'll probably forget about them and buy new ones anyway. Like, it just no, Gretchen, just like relax a little bit. So I've stopped buying my favorite makeup, beauty, personal products in bulk. Don't do that anymore. Okay, last category is just miscellaneous. Number 1, large wallets. I don't own, I won't be buying, and you know, I've never really been a wallet person to the point that you guys know I always would just have a little sticker. Like all of college I had one of those, what are they called, like pocket sticker things on the back of your phone where all your cards go, and I just like never had a wallet. And I just don't use cash. I don't have cash, so I really don't have purpose for like a big wallet. Now you guys know I have just like a tiny little coin purse thing, but I don't have a large wallet and I don't really need one. The next thing, this isn't something that I buy, but something that I don't pay for, is interest payments on my credit card. I just thought this would be like fun, like some financial fun to throw in here. Yeah, I'm just like proud that I've never had to pay an interest payment on my credit card, but I do realize that that's not realistic for some people. Obviously there's some big purchases that you would put on a credit card, like furniture or whatever, that you know that you don't have the money for right now, but you're gonna pay it off. Like things like that make sense to me, and I'm like, maybe one day I will have interest payments on my credit card, but I'm lucky enough and blessed enough right now that I can afford it and just pay it off every month as I go, and that way I never have to pay interest on my credit card, because the interest that you pay on your credit card, you're literally like throwing away or just like handing over to your credit card company. So that's something that I don't buy and that I'm like on top of to make sure that I don't have to pay for that. Okay, wait, 2 more things and then we have a bonus. Okay, second to last thing I realized that I don't own and that I won't buy or pay for is a Charlie card. I know this is probably like random, but if you guys like live in a city like me in Boston, maybe you would realize, but I actually had one in college before I had a car. I would use the T all the time, but I don't have one anymore, and it's just because I bought a car and now I have a car. So yeah, I don't have a Charlie card, and that's all right. I'm sure most people in Boston do, and most people take public transportation, which is good, but now that I have a car, I just don't really have a need to. I'm not trying to like brag. That one sounds like, oh my god, I don't have a Charlie card anymore. No, I just mean it as like, I'm just happy that I like realize these things. Like I don't need to like be paying for that and have that when I realize that I don't use it anymore because I just drive my car, if that makes sense. Okay, last but not least, what I don't have and which I wish I had right now because I'm going crazy over here in quarantine is a bike. I feel like as a little kid, obviously I had like a little bike with my, what are those called? Training wheels? You're like a Not a tricycle. Oh my god, now I'm getting confused. When your training wheels come off, right? Is that what they call it? Training wheels? You know the bike and they have like the 2 little wheels, and then there's that day when you like take them off and you're like flying down the street and don't know how to stop. Okay, I don't know. Someone help me out. Someone tell me what I'm talking about. I think they're called training wheels. Anyway, I remember having bikes as like a little kid, right? That you like bike around the neighborhood. It's fun. Me and Lucy, my dad, would always bike around the neighborhood. But I don't have one anymore. And a lot of people, the reason I thought this was good to include is because if you live, actually, do people bike in New York? It'd probably be dangerous because New York is just like mayhem. It's actually pretty dangerous in Boston too, but I know a lot of people bike in Boston, and that's very normal and like a very effective way to get around. But I just would never trust myself, and yeah, like I just feel like I would not be attentive enough, observant enough biking around Boston, and I would be too scared because it's kind of dangerous. So I don't own a bike, but I kind of wish I did now to like bike around. And yeah, wow. Oh, last but not least, bonus. What I realized today, you guys, is something that I don't buy, and I don't think I ever will buy, is scratch tickets. This is so random, but if you like gamble, I don't know, good for you, be careful, I guess, but I've just never really been into that. Even places I've been, like Las Vegas, Aruba, places with casinos, I just like don't really see the point. I know it can be fun. Or where was I with the casino just? It was the Bahamas. That's what I'm thinking of. And yeah, I know it can be fun and people like that and all, but I am just like, why would I do that? Like, I don't want to lose. You know what I mean? But the reason I was thinking of scratch tickets today is because me and Max went to the grocery store and he wanted to get scratch tickets, and I'm like, that is like, to me that is so dumb, but if you want to, like, that's fine. So I just realized it's something that I don't buy. Wow, this video was long. I did not realize it was gonna be this long, you guys. I'm sorry, but hopefully it was like entertaining. Maybe it helped you realize some things you don't need to buy anymore, like dryer sheets or shaving cream, I don't know. And yeah, if you want to leave me a comment down below, I read literally all of them, and I don't want to offend anyone by this. Now I'm scared I'm gonna like offend people if you like all of these things and I don't have them. I just, yeah, thought it would be meaningful to think about all these things that I don't own or buy and share them with you, because I know so many times it can feel like, oh, this influencer is showing her luxury bag again or whatever, and I like, this makes me feel like left out or bad or something, and I like feel that feeling sometimes when I follow influencers on social media. So I thought this could be fun to just kind of do the opposite of a haul, show you things that I don't have, and how it just kind of makes my life a little bit simpler. But anyway, before I get way too chatty, thank you guys for watching. Love you so much. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.